How about the Seattle Dragons? I was there. It was fun. The Seattle Dragons lost to the Dallas Renegades 24-12 on Saturday. Good game. The crowd was loud. It was entertaining. And number one, we got to talk about Steven Johnson. The dude is legit. He's a linebacker who plays for the Dragons. He leads the XFL in tackles. He has 20 tackles on the season. He had 9 on Saturday against Dallas. He had 14 combined on Saturday. And it's unreal. He's literally everywhere. Every time you watch somebody get tackled, Steven Johnson is there leading the charge. It's really impressive. And the Dragons' defense on Saturday made a lot of plays. They had 2 interceptions. They had a forced fumble, 3 total takeaways. But the offense couldn't capitalize enough in Seattle. That's the problem. Here's the issue. Quarterback Brandon Silvers has not been good enough. It's painful. That stinks. It's also honest. Now, he does slowly get better and better every single week I watch him. He had a couple good plays. His early touchdown was great. Brandon Silvers hung in the pocket, got hit as he threw, stepped up, threw the ball over the middle, threw a touchdown pass. Well done. He also had a couple plays where he had a great play on 3rd and 6 where he started on the right side of the field, worked all the way through his progression, found a curl route in the zone coverage. It was phenomenal. Found a window, cover 3, corner bailed. He threw the ball short into the window between the 2 safeties. I don't know how to explain it better than that. It was phenomenal. I was like, oh, man, that's good stuff. Brandon, you're making progress. You're getting better. The problem is he's very slowly making progress. Too slow. It's time. You got to get going. You got to get going. We're ready. The Dragons need you. Your team needs you now. He's making better decisions, but still too many bad decisions. Too many inaccurate throws where guys are open and he's got an out route, a 10-yard out route, just misses out of bounds. Nowhere near the guy. Like, Brandon, what are you doing? Brandon, you're talented. I know you can make that throw. Why are you missing that throw? It's like, what's happening, man? You're so inconsistent. And the problem is not Jim Zorn. Jim Zorn, the head coach, is great. He's patient. He's kind. He's very, I was concerned about his what do you call it? I was concerned about Jim Zorn's communication early on week 1. I figured out what happened. Mike Riley was supposed to be the offensive coordinator of the Dragons. Well, he's not. Jim Zorn is, but they kept the initial verbiage from that old system. So guess what? Jim Zorn was learning verbiage, and basically it's like trying to speak a language that is not your first language. That's what was happening week 1. When Jim Zorn was struggling with communication, it wasn't because he's a bad coach. It wasn't because he's a bad communicator. It was because he was literally trying to remember the words because it was someone else's verbiage. It wasn't his offense. It was someone else's. And he's been adapting to the team because Jim Zorn learning the verbiage was better than his players learning different verbiage. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm sure that's confusing for people. If your entire team speaks Spanish, you should speak Spanish rather than forcing your entire team to learn English. That's kind of what happened week 1. But since then, Jim Zorn's communication has been phenomenal. He did the work. He did the research. Jim Zorn's communication has been much better week 2 and 3 than it was week 1. Jim Zorn is not the problem. The problem is the quarterback. I think he's getting good coaching. The honest question is, does Brandon Silvers understand the opportunity he's been given? And that's harsh, but that's honest. Because the patience is wearing thin. He's costing his team wins. And you know what happens when you win a game in the XFL? You get a bonus check. You make more money. Now, here's the other problem. Brandon Silvers makes 10 times the amount of money as the rest of his teammates. He might not care about the bonus check. He's like, that's $2,000. I don't need that. I make more money than everybody here. He doesn't need that. This Brandon Silvers, I hate to say this, is he coasting a little bit? Hey, I'm the quarterback in Seattle, man. I'm rich. I'm young, 25 years old in Seattle. I'm the quarterback. I'm the man. Is that enough for him? How hungry is Brandon Silvers? Because his progress isn't enough. He's got to make better progress quickly. Now, I'll give him a pass for week 3. Last week, we'll give him a pass. Next week, I'm going to be a lot harsher. The reason why I'm saying all this now is because I'm setting this up for if Brandon Silvers doesn't get better, then we will be very harsh. Because there's some belief in the Dragons organization that Brandon Silvers could be doing more to prepare for games. He could be doing more behind the scenes to win, to help his team succeed. And the truth is that if Brandon Silvers does not improve very quickly, his team is not going to win more games. Brandon Silvers right now is the limiting factor in Seattle with the Seattle Dragons.